For this assignment, I will be interviewing my mentoring teacher for insights on her teaching methods. The first question is, can you share any strategies you use to differentiate instruction for students at different proficiency levels?
Well, the immediate one I think of is translating. Like, you if they're a beginner, they're obviously not going to know English, so translating it to help them. Also including like visuals, like sometimes if you draw a picture of what it is that it's talking about, or just providing them with a dictionary is usually what I do.
And then I inquired about the way technology was utilized in the classroom based on my observations during my field assignment, specifically focusing on tools like interactive whiteboards and various educational apps. I wanted to understand how these technologies are integrated into daily lessons and how they enhance student engagement. Additionally, I inquired about how these resources supported differentiated learning, particularly for students who may struggle with traditional teaching methods. I was curious about the strategy that she used to ensure that all students benefit from the technology available in the classroom, and how this approach contributes to creating an inclusive learning environment.
Oh yes, and then or sometimes they use if they have technology like an iPad, they can translate it.
How do you modify your assessments to accommodate the diverse language abilities of EB students while ensuring academic rigor?
Well, one of them is on their computers. Like if it's on their computer, they will have a program on there where they can highlight it and translate it if they still need that support. And they also get content support. So if there's like vocab in there that they don't understand, it's highlighted and it will give them like a picture. So that way they kind of know what it is. They also have access to a dictionary so they can look it up. If it's on paper, a lot of times I'll do like oral, like it needs to be read out loud to them, and then from there I just give them what I know they need.
Okay. We explored the various programs the school employs on the computer and how they tailor their approach to support students in their primary language. How do you incorporate the cultural backgrounds of EB students into your lessons, and how does this impact student engagement and learning?
Well, I always try to relate it to something that I know that they know, like if it's part of their culture. It helps that I myself share the same culture as them, so I kind of just, if I immediately think of something, I'll share it, and most of them will be like, oh yeah, I know what you mean, and they're just more excited, and it helps with their engagement because they're like, oh, okay, I understand what she's talking about.
We talked about specific examples I noticed in the classroom, including a lesson on pronouns that incorporate discussions about the word church turning into it. Could you share an instance where you had to adapt your teaching approach to meet the needs of an EB student facing particular challenges?
Yes, even if it's in Spanish, I've had to adapt it to where, like, if it's not on grade level, to like bring in even like to their level. Like if they're like, for example, third grade, but if they're on a first grade level, I need to pull resources that are first grade level to help them get to a third grade level. Other times it's kind of just like giving instruction full on in Spanish until they get it.
I learned that it's important for teachers to know when to draw resources from other grade levels if students do not meet grade level expectations. In this context, being a bilingual teacher is advantageous as she can deliver instruction in both languages. What strategies do you use to communicate with non-English speaking parents?
Well, I speak Spanish, so that helps. But I know other people usually will have a translator, or where they use their phones to translate the conversation, or I think they are communication app. If you send a message in English, they can translate it to Spanish. So or the language that they need it in.
I discovered that being resourceful is essential for educators who may not be proficient in a student's primary language, as it allows them to find effective ways to support their learning. How do you involve parents and the community in supporting the language learning of an ELL or an EB students?
Well, I let our school, they have a family night that incorporates, like in February we usually have it's called a Title III, but it's for our EBs and ELLs. Like, it's just an event for those parents to come out and have like a fun night with their kids, and we share some things with them, and that helps them get involved with their school and feel supported.
I learned that Comanche hosts a family night for English language learners and their families, where various activities are provided. She describes the various activities they offer and emphasized how the parents consistently express gratitude for the school's understanding and support for families who face challenges with English, ultimately supporting their children's success. And what professional development opportunities or resources have you found most beneficial in enhancing your skills for teaching EB students?
Well, going to workshops that really help. Like, if there's any workshop that has to do with understanding like the TELPAS that they take, or so that way you can become familiar with like the different domains, the different ones, and then what skills, or like to just understand where they're at and where they're going, so that way you can help them.
She highlighted the value of teacher workshops and equipping educators with strategies to help students achieve mastering, as well as the importance of understanding the assessments students are facing, so we know how to help them in class. Do you have a favorite technology or digital tool to support language development?
Last year I had, it's called Imagine Literacy, and I did like that for them, and it kind of teaches them the basics. And we have Summit K-12 now, which is a little bit like, it helps them with the foundations as well, so I kind of like both of those apps or resources.
And have you seen improvement
Yes. With Imagine Literacy, I worked on a kid last year, and she started on it, and then by the end of the year, like, she was already being able to read multisyllabic words because of the Imagine Literacy. So it's like an online thing that they do on their own. Okay. So it's like intervention, but it's on their computer, so you don't have to do it or model it yourself.
Okay. Well, that is all. Thank you.